I'm going to work on this guitar here. This is the other AXL. I don't know if you can see the headstock. It's a little dark there. But I already put the tuners in. And I drilled the holes for the bridge and the tailpiece. That's a Goto aluminum tailpiece. I'm going to have a Mighty Mite roller bridge here. And of course I've got to put everything else in. But today is going to be the frets. So what I'm going to do is put the frets in. And I'm not going to film it blow by blow because I've done that a couple of times already. So what I'll do is I'll show you this video before I get started. And then maybe I'll do one in the middle where I've got the frets in, but they're not completed. And then I'll show you the final product when they're completely trimmed up and recrowned. Okay? So see you guys in a bit. Okay, so making progress with the frets. And here I had one fret where on the low side or the bass strings, the fret slot was just a wee bit too wide when it was cut at the factory. And so what happens is the fret has a tendency to pop up. No matter how much I press it down, the tangs aren't grabbing the inside of that fret slot. And so what I had to do was put a little bit of crazy glue or super glue in the slot and then press down with this clamp. So I'm going to leave that for about 20 minutes or so, and then the fret will sit right. This happens sometimes. Your preference is to not put glue in the slots because if a day comes when you have to refret the guitar, no glue makes it a lot easier to pull the frets. But in this case, sometimes you have to do it, and that's why when you do pull frets, it's very important that you heat the fret. Only the fret, by the way. Don't get the heat on the fretboard with a soldering iron to loosen any glue in the event that there is glue in the slot. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit for a bit, and then I'll come back and I'll do the rest of the frets, which I have to hammer them in, by the way, because the fret press won't work up here on the neck. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. Okay, so the installation of the frets is all done on this AXL. This is a mahogany guitar, and I dressed the ends of the frets. If you can see that, nice and smooth now. And I just installed the nut. So I have a Tusk XL graphite nut, and this AXL is slotted perfectly to slip the nut in. It's perfect. So the next thing's going to be to level the frets, and I don't think I'm going to do that today. I need to go run some errands and get some things done, so other than doing guitar work. So I'll do that maybe tomorrow, and then I'll install the wiring and also the pickups. And this guitar is coming along nicely. Okay, so I'll be back, you guys, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, and we'll make progress on this. Okay, have a great day. Okay, so I decided to put the pickups in, and one of the questions I get asked every once in a while is, if you're doing a do-it-yourself guitar, DIY guitar, how do you know how to line up the pickups properly? Well, this is what I do. I take some twine, and I run it from the tailpiece over the bridge. This is a roller bridge, so make sure it's in the slot, all the way down to the machine heads, the tuners. Okay? So all you need is two strings, the low E and the high E. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that these strings are lined up on top of each one of the screws here, the posts. Low E, high E post. That's for the neck. Low E, high E post for the bridge. So it's lined up right now. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very small nail and I'm going to punch in a very small starter hole, and then I'll use the drill and we will fasten the pickup rings down and we'll be all set. And that's all there is to it. You have to do it this way because if you don't, what will happen is you could wind up putting the pickup in, and let's just say it moves to the left. And you can see now that the low E is sitting to the right of the post. So you really want to make sure you position it. If it's a little off center, that won't mean anything. Nothing at all. So don't be bothered by that, especially with humbuckers. Humbuckers have a very broad magnetic field, right? But still, aesthetically, you want it to look as nice as possible. So there you go. All right? So I'm going to put the pickups in. I'll be back in a bit. So the light in the room is not doing this guitar any justice as far as taking a look at the finish and appreciating it, but it's really quite beautiful. And the pickups I put in are StewMax Golden Age humbuckers. These are the overwound humbuckers, so these are the hotter pickups. I had them from another guitar that I originally had them installed, and it was my Epiphone Les Paul 100. And I took them out and I put in Guitar Fetish GFS Dream 180s in that guitar. Those are nice pickups too. These are really good pickups also. So Goto aluminum tailpiece. This is a Mighty Mite roller bridge. StewMax pickups. The electronics are all in. I just have to solder in the pickups. I found a chrome tip here, so I put that on. And frets are all in. I haven't leveled them yet, but I'll do that. The nut is a Tusk AXL nut. It fit perfectly. Grover tuners, and it's coming along. Okay, so maybe tomorrow I will hook up the pickups. I'm waiting for the plate to come in here, the jack plate. I'm out of them. And I'm going to put a chrome jack plate on this also. Okay, so that's it for today. I know I said that before, but I got a second win, so I'll catch you guys later. Hey everybody, it's Mike. I finally finished the AXL brown mahogany guitar. And if you recall, this guitar came completely hollowed out. So I bought it off of eBay. There's a company out of California. And it cost about 80 bucks with shipping. So 80 bucks total for the guitar. All hollowed out. And I mean nothing in it. No pickups, no electronics, no anything, including no frets. So I had to put all that in. And I took my time with this guitar. And I decided to call this one the Brittany, which is my daughter's name. And here's the headstock, Sage of Quay. And here, burned into the top of the headstock, is the AXL logo. It's a little difficult to see. Let me see if I can get the light on it. But in any case, it came out real nice. I spent a lot of time on this guitar, a lot. The frets feel great. A lot of time leveling those, crowning them, and so on. The pickups are StewMax Golden Age humbuckers, overwound, which means they're hot pickups. They sound great. This is a Mighty Mite roller bridge. This is a Goto aluminum tailpiece. Underneath the hood here, the switches and the wiring is all genuine Epiphone. I put a chrome plate, jack plate on it. This is a Gibson custom pickguard, and it just came out awesome. I was just playing it, breaking it in a little bit. You do have to break guitars in, and she stays in tune. A Tusk XL graphite nut. A graphite nut means that you don't have to lubricate the slots. It's self-lubricating. It's a great nut to put on a guitar. Helps to keep your guitar in tune. Grover tuners. The truss rod cover. I get asked this question often. Where do you get these truss rod covers? I get them from Philadelphia Luthier. So if you go to Philadelphia Luthier, you have a choice of buying just a blank truss rod cover. You can get an engraved. You can get even a truss rod cover with a picture on it. So if you send them a JPEG, they will put the JPEG on the truss rod cover. It really looks nice. I did it on 2 of my guitars. Looks awesome. And also I've been asked about the logos. So I will get you the seller's store name on eBay. And you get 2 logos for 10 bucks or 5 bucks a piece. All you need to do is give him the dimensions, the font you want to use, and of course write out what it is that you want him to print. And these are self-adhering decals. And they stick really, really well, so they're not going to come off. I mean, they'll come off if you peel it, obviously, but if you're not going to futz with it, it's going to be there for a very long time. Okay, so I'm a little tired, so I hope I'm making sense here. Finished up. It's late. I guess it's about almost 11:30 at night. I had a lot of stuff I had to do today, so I got started on this really late. Okay, so there she is. She's completely done. It's the Brittany. And I've got another one I'm going to work on. It's going to be called the Rebecca. And I'll show you that when I'm done. That's the Sunburst AXL. Okay? All right, you guys, have a great evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.